Imagine booking a dream vacation, only to discover there's a giant no entry sign waiting for you. Sounds unbelievable, right? But in 2025, there are entire countries where Americans simply can't go, and the reasons will shock you. From war-torn nations to political hotbeds, some bans make sense, while others, well, they'll leave you scratching your head. Stick around because today we're diving into the top 10 countries where Americans are banned from traveling in 2025. And let me tell you what's happening in our number one country. It's straight out of a spy novel. You won't want to miss this. Now, before we jump into the list, let's get one thing straight. These bans aren't just about politics. They're about safety, history, and sometimes sheer misunderstandings. Whether it's dangerous conflicts, broken diplomatic ties, or strict government rules, these restrictions reveal a lot about how the world sees the U.S. in 2025. Some of these countries are outright hostile to Americans, while others are simply too dangerous to visit. Either way, each of these destinations tells a story, and today, we're here to uncover them. Number 10, Cuba. Kicking off our list is Cuba, a tropical paradise stuck in the past. While the U.S. eased restrictions briefly in recent years, 2025 sees American tourism once again in limbo. Sure, you can visit under specific licenses for family or humanitarian reasons, but ordinary vacations, those are off the table. This restriction harks back to the Cold War, when the U.S. imposed an embargo after Fidel Castro's revolution. Even today, decades of political tension and human rights concerns keep this Caribbean gem largely out of reach for American travelers. But here's the kicker. Many Americans still sneak in via third countries like Mexico or Canada. If you're caught, you might be facing hefty fines back home. So, is the risk worth it? You decide. Number 9, Venezuela. Next up is Venezuela, a country of stunning natural beauty overshadowed by political chaos. The U.S. government has issued a strict do not travel advisory, citing crime, kidnappings, and an unstable government. Once a booming economy, Venezuela has faced years of economic collapse. Corruption, hyperinflation, and violent unrest have made it one of the most dangerous places in the world. And for Americans, tensions are high after the U.S. cut diplomatic ties and imposed sanctions. But amidst the chaos lies Angel Falls, the world's tallest waterfall. It's a haunting reminder of what this country could be if only the conflict could end. Number 8, Russia. Coming in at number 8 is Russia. In 2025, relations between the U.S. and Russia are icier than ever, thanks to ongoing conflicts and sanctions. While travel isn't officially banned, Americans face visa denials, heavy surveillance, and the constant risk of political detention. Remember Brittany Griner's detention? That was just the tip of the iceberg. For Americans, visiting Russia in 2025 is less about sightseeing and more about dodging diplomatic fallout. Number 7, North Korea. North Korea, the most secretive country on Earth, remains off-limits to Americans. The U.S. has an outright ban on travel here, citing the tragic case of Otto Warmbier and the regime's nuclear threats. One wrong move in this tightly controlled society, and you could end up in prison, or worse. For Americans, North Korea isn't just unwelcoming, it's outright dangerous. Number 6. Syria. Syria, once home to breathtaking history, is now a symbol of destruction. After years of civil war, this country is no place for tourists, especially Americans. Kidnappings, terrorism, and ongoing conflict make Syria one of the deadliest places in the world. And for Americans, it's a stark reminder of the consequences of war. Number 5, Myanmar. Since the military coup of 2021, Myanmar has been in turmoil. For Americans, this once vibrant destination is now a no-go zone due to political violence and armed conflict. It's tragic. Myanmar's golden temples and lush landscapes are now overshadowed by unrest and human rights abuses. Number 4, Afghanistan. After the U.S. withdrawal in 2021, Afghanistan fell under Taliban control. For Americans, visiting is almost impossible, with risks of kidnapping, violence, and lack of government protection. It's a sobering reminder of the region's instability and the lasting scars of decades of war. Number 3, Yemen. Yemen is a country of contrasts, rich history and devastating conflict. The ongoing civil war and humanitarian crisis make it one of the most dangerous places in the world. Number 2, Somalia. For Americans, Somalia is synonymous with danger. Pirates, terrorism, and a lack of law and order. Travel here isn't just discouraged, it's life-threatening. Number 1. Iran. Iran tops our list, and for good reason. The US and Iran have a long history of tension, from the 1979 hostage crisis to today's nuclear standoffs. For Americans, visiting Iran isn't just difficult, it's downright risky. So what does this list tell us? These travel bans aren't just about safety, they're about the complex relationships between nations. But behind every ban is a story, a culture, and people waiting to be understood. Maybe one day these barriers will come down, and we'll have the chance to connect with these places. Until then, let's stay curious and strive for a world that's more united. Thanks for watching. Would you ever risk visiting one of these countries? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring.